What is going on, guys? Evolution here, and today we're going to be discussing the new TTK, or Time to Kill, in Battlefield 5. So let me just say that this caught me off guard. It kind of came out of nowhere for me. I've heard rumors and a bunch of other stuff that this was actually going to be changing, but I didn't think it would just come to the live servers and change everything instantly. That really surprised me. But let me go ahead and give you guys a little bit of information here and why DICE has actually changed the TTK in the game. So recently we've announced that Battlefield 5's TTK, or Time to Kill, values will be changing in order to facilitate an even gameplay experience for all of our players, resulting in a more level playing field for new and experienced players alike. Alright, so let me just say I can kind of see where DICE is coming from here. It's not easy being a new player, especially in a shooter where things are very quick and fast-paced. It can be very frustrating dying over and over again, but I feel like that's a part of the experience. Part of the fun is learning and growing and improving. You know, that's kind of what games are all about, I feel personally. And if you're not learning and improving, then where's the fun? Where is the fun? Again, just my opinion, but it confuses me a little bit, but I can understand that it can be frustrating for a new player. So DICE goes on to say, it's widely accepted within the community that the current TTK values feel dialed in, perfect as is, and that the elements that need to change are those that impact the time to death, such as netcode, health models, etc. It's important to note that both the TTK and the TTD are closely intertwined, making one change to the TTK directly impact the TTD, and vice versa. So they're saying that it's widely accepted in the community that the TTK is fine. Nobody has a problem with that. I shouldn't say nobody, but widely accepted means a large group to me. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's just the vocal community, but widely accepted, that's kind of what that means to me. So we'll go with that. I could be wrong. Take it with a grain of salt. So people have no problem with the TTK. It's the time to death. You know, when you peek around a corner and you get one shot by an SMG and you don't understand what happened, that has to do with the netcode, and that's the time to death. It just feels like you're dying super quickly, but on the other end, the guy probably shot you 6 or 7 times, and then you die. Just like when you kill someone, you're shooting them 4 or 5 times, or 6 or 7 times, depending on the weapon you're using, and they're dying. Right? It's not like you kill them instantly on both sides. So the fact that they know that's a problem and they understand what people are unhappy with, but they'll go ahead and change the TTK anyway, really confuses me. But look, maybe there's a reason. There's a reason behind the madness. Let's see. But why fuss around with a TTK when it's ideal in its current state? That's a great question, DICE. Although not extremely vocal within our deeply engaged community, we see from our game data that the wider player base is dying too fast, leading to faster churn, meaning players may be getting frustrated with dying too fast that they choose not to log back in and learn how to become more proficient at Battlefield 5. Changing TTK values in addition to improving TTD elements will help these particular instances and hopefully result in better gameplay experiences for players of all skill levels. So the thing I don't understand is, instead of fixing the time to death and the netcode, you're trying to hide it, put a layer of paint over it to make it not as noticeable. And the players that are leaving in frustration, I'm guaranteeing you it's not just about the time to death. So before we jump into a huge rant here, let's go ahead and just talk about what exactly has changed with the weapons in Battlefield 5. So basically, to sum it all up very quickly, everything takes another bullet to kill your opponent. So it takes one more bullet to kill your opponent. So all of this is just crazy. And what I don't understand is why this was put to the live servers. Why this went straight to the live servers. There was no test environment for this. They didn't say, hey, here's a couple servers. We're testing out this new TTK because there's problems with the TTD, and we're trying to find a solution that makes everyone happy. Test this out. Give us some feedback. Let us know. No, they basically stuck up their middle finger. Screw everyone who's enjoying the TTK and enjoying the game right now. We don't care. We're going to make this live, and you guys are just going to have to deal with it. Enjoy. Like, I don't understand. How does that happen? How does DICE, like, what are you doing? Actually, what are you doing over there? I don't get it. That doesn't make any sense. It's confusing, and it blows my mind. It honestly just blows my mind that DICE is even doing that. And then on top of that, so they buffed the medic class. Everyone knows the medic class at launch was underwhelming. It definitely needed a buff. It wasn't the easiest or most consistent class out there. So they gave the SMGs a damage buff at range. So you could have a little bit more damage at a little bit more range, which was great. But I honestly felt like they were still weak and they needed another buff. But instead, they got freaking nerfed because of the TTK change. Like, what are you doing, DICE? So weapons that were already weak are even weaker, and some people are saying they're unplayable. Some of the weapons, like the MP40, still playable, but some, it's crazy. It's honestly crazy, and they've got to change them. The SMGs need another buff. And here's another thing I don't get. So they have all these problems in the game, like hard crashes, frozen screens, not being able to spawn in, getting stuck when you get revived and you just see nothingness, falling under the map. What else do we have here? Vaulting. Vaulting is a huge problem in the game. It's like, have you guys ever just tried to vault over something that's 1 foot tall? Like, how hard is it? DICE, please let me vault over this thing. Having an LMG or an MMG with a bipod, that is the worst experience in the world. It's like you turn maybe a couple degrees to the left and then, oh, unbipoded, I'm hip firing. I don't even understand what's happening. Like, there's just so many issues with the game, and it's widely accepted that the TTK was fine, so why would this be their priority? Like, why would they not go with their core community that's still playing the game despite all of the bugs and all of the glitches, and they're enjoying it? I don't understand why they would side with the part of the community that's not even playing the game anymore. It's idiotic. It's stupid. And Battlefield 5 from the beginning has been a disaster. So it started off with a trailer that people didn't understand and wasn't exciting to them. It didn't look like Battlefield. And it's not about the women in the trailer. They want to have women in Battlefield. That's great. That's fine. That wasn't the issue. The issue was it didn't look like Battlefield, and it didn't look like World War II. Like, the majority of Battlefield players don't care if DICE put women in the game. They're just like, oh, we have women in the game. But when you stuff everything down our throat and have a specific agenda on mind, and then you just ram it into us, that's not okay, DICE. Nobody wants that. Don't do that. And then after that, after the backlash, because DICE didn't understand why people were upset, they decided to say, F you. If you don't like it, you don't have to buy the game. And guess what, DICE? Nobody freaking bought the game. You told them not to buy it. They're not going to buy the game because they don't want to be disrespected. You as a developer and EA as the publisher have to understand that the Battlefield community knows what they want in a Battlefield game. They've been playing it for many, many years. Many years. And you basically took that all out, at least out of the trailer, because that's not what they wanted to see. They didn't want to see a woman with a cricket bat hitting someone. That's not Battlefield in anyone's mind. So, and then you have the nerve to basically stick up your middle finger again and call us uneducated and to not buy the game? I don't understand. Like, DICE, what are you doing over there? And then furthermore, a month after the game has released, after all of that crap, people still bought your game because they love Battlefield, they love the series, and they were excited for the new gunplay. They were really excited. And what did we get? We got a half-assed game with not a lot of content, but people still played the game because the gunplay was fun, because the progression was somewhat back to normal when you play that class and you unlock more weapons in that class. Now, the customization still needs a lot of work. It still feels a little bit lackluster, but people are still playing your game. But no, DICE, we're not done there. A month after, you decide to have the game go down to 50% off? So now it's cheaper for everyone who didn't support the game right off the bat? And another middle finger to everyone in the community? That's great, DICE. You know, that's really good. It's going to keep the fan base strong and healthy. And then the TTK. I don't understand what's going on over there. It blows my frickin' mind. I didn't even get to how the actual TTK plays now. So, in my experience, the maps play a little bit slower. And if you're used to weapons, you'd be like, oh, that should have killed that person, but you still need to land one extra shot. It's hard to get used to. I have gotten used to it, but I'm not happy with it because I didn't see a problem with the TTK before. And by the way, the time to death is still not fixed. I still die immediately from basically any weapon without notice. So the time to death, which is what this whole thing was freaking about, is not even fixed. So bravo, DICE. Great job. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and have a good one. See ya.
Find your purpose, tie your shoestrings. I take solace in my loose leaf. What's